I am the last of the Council of Wizards, keeper of the Rock of Eternity.
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 actors who have played superheroes and supervillains.
Drop it.
Hey.
Drop it now!
Hey, cool, man.
For this list, we'll be looking for performers who got to play both sides of the good and evil coin. We'll include anti-heroes if they've done something particularly heroic or villainous. While we'll save animated roles for another time, we will definitely be diving into some spoilers ahead. Which of these performers do you think showed the most range? Let us know in the comments. Number 10, Jim Carrey, Colonel Stars and Stripes, The Mask, and The Riddler. While Carrey's title character in The Mask doesn't act like much of a good guy most of the time, he was based on a darker superhero.
It's party time! P-A-R-T. Why? Because I gotta!
His comedy stylings were perfect for the wacky and unpredictable character. A year later, Carrey became a major supervillain when he played the Riddler in Batman Forever.
Riddle me this, riddle me that. Who's afraid of the big black bat?
While the movie wasn't a critical hit, the funny man gave an unquestionably memorable performance as the obsessive and eccentric Batman rogue. Carrey became a darker kind of superhero again when he played Colonel Stars and Stripes in 2013's Kick-Ass 2.
Oh, and try to have fun. Otherwise, what's the point?
His unpredictable nature and dedication felt like a zany mashup of his previous roles. Coincidentally, Carrey managed to wear green for all three of his outings in this big and bold genre. Number 9, Idris Elba, Heimdall and Bloodsport. Although Elba's role as Moreau in the second Ghost Rider doesn't really count as a superhero, he definitely fit the bill when he played Heimdall in the MCU.
Heimdall, may we pass?
Never has an enemy slipped my watch until this day. I wish to know how that happened.
He appeared as the all-seeing Asgardian who guarded the Bifrost and tried his best to keep his brethren safe. We tragically saw him fall after performing one final heroic act in Avengers: Infinity War. After having put that character to bed, Elba jumped to DC and took on the role of Bloodsport. At the beginning of the Suicide Squad, he's unquestionably a supervillain clever enough to wound Superman.
Are you having a laugh?
What?
You just said each member of the team is chosen for their unique abilities. He does exactly what I do, but better.
But he grows into more of an anti-hero by the time the credits rolled. In every role, Elba's natural charisma brought out the best in his characters. Number 8, Liam Neeson, Darkman and Ra's al Ghul. When most people hear Liam Neeson and superhero movies in the same sentence, they think of his role in the Dark Knight trilogy. He played Bruce Wayne's mentor turned adversary, Ra's al Ghul.
Amusing, but pointless. None of these people have long to live. Your antics at the asylum have forced my hand.
Neeson brought a lot of gravitas to the complex and incredibly dangerous villain. But before he faced Batman, the actor played an unconventional hero named Darkman. Neeson's character becomes stronger and resistant to pain after suffering at the hands of unjust men. He once again brought a lot of complexity to what could have been a campy or forgettable role. Since the actor reprised his role as Ra's al Ghul, we'd love to see him return to the Darkman role again too.
Mr. Reese spoiling everything, but why should I have all the fun? Let's give someone else a chance. If Coleman Reese isn't dead.
Number 7, Kurt Russell, the Commander and Ego the Living Planet. The fun and surprising Sky High featured Kurt Russell playing the fictitious hero, the Commander. Although not based on any specific comic book property, he feels like a funny stand-in for Superman. For most of the movie, the well-meaning commander is extremely invested in his son becoming a great superhero.
Will, I just want you to know how proud I am that you'll be attending my alma mater and someday following me into the family business.
This major plot point makes his role in the MCU feel incredibly ironic. He first played the Celestial known as Ego in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. This villainous figure wanted to use his son Star-Lord's powers to help take over tons of living planets.
I wanted to do this together! And I suppose you'll have to learn by spending the next 1,000 years as a battery!
While the commander could be overbearing, it's clear that he had a much better relationship with his son than Ego did. Number 6. Ryan Reynolds, Green Lantern, Deadpool, twice, and Juggernaut. Reynolds' experience with superheroes has been a mixed bag. After appearing in Blade Trinity, his first real shot at being a powered person came when he played Wade Wilson in X-Men Origins Wolverine.
I love this weapon more than any other thing in the whole wide world. You want to know why? No. It's memorable.
Unfortunately, a bad script created what's regarded as the worst version of the character. Reynolds then tried his hand at being a good guy by playing Hal Jordan in Green Lantern. After that film disappointed fans, he finally found his place as a fantastic version of Deadpool in 2016. He absolutely killed as the character in 2 films and counting. In the midst of Reynolds' resurgence, he sneakily played the supervillain Juggernaut in 2018's Deadpool 2.
I'm gonna shove that cab driver right up your ass.
My body and my hands are so soft.
You should probably head back to the car.
Watching the actor technically fight against himself marked a high point in his superhero movie journey. Number 5. Michael B. Jordan, The Human Torch, and Eric Killmonger. Casting the incredibly charismatic Michael B. Jordan as the often cocky Human Torch seemed like a slam dunk. Unfortunately for fans, even his talents couldn't make his character in the underwhelming and much meddled with 2015 Fantastic Four movie work. Thankfully, it only took 3 more years before audiences praised his performance as Eric Killmonger in Black Panther.
Don't trip. I'm gonna take it off your hands for you.
These items aren't for sale.
How do you think your ancestors got these? You think they paid a fair price? Or did they take it like they took everything else?
Jordan's understandable motivations and at times sympathetic portrayal had audiences torn whether to support him or the heroes. Despite his character's death, his performance was so well received that some fans are calling for him to return to the franchise somehow.
Just bury me in the ocean with my ancestors that jumped from the ships. Because they knew death was better than bondage.
Audiences are definitely hungry to see Jordan do justice to more superhero films. Number 4. Tom Hardy, Venom/Eddie Brock, and Bane. The Dark Knight Rises brought one of Batman's greatest foes to light when Tom Hardy played Bane.
Oh, you think darkness is your ally? You merely adopted the dark. I was born in it, molded by it. I didn't see the light until I was already a man.
While the actor's dialogue and actions were extremely intimidating on their own, he had such a strong physical presence that he could intimidate us while he was standing still. Hardy followed this role as the legendary supervillain by crawling across universes to become Eddie Brock and Venom.
So many snacks, so little time.
While he still excels at being terrifying when the occasion calls for it, his dual Marvel role allows him to show off his comedic chops. And when his Venom feels like it, he has a knack for saving lives.
You will only ever be allowed to touch, harm, hurt, possibly, very possibly, eat very, very bad people, but never, ever, ever good people, all right?
Fine.
Seeing Hardy go from being a great Batman villain to a relatively noble Spider-Verse character makes for a great full-circle journey. Number 3, Michelle Pfeiffer, the Wasp and Catwoman. Despite some fierce competition, Michelle Pfeiffer is typically seen as the best Catwoman ever committed to film.
Be gentle, it's my first time.
In the span of one movie, she went from a subdued performance as Selina Kyle to a sultry and threatening supervillain, and firmly landed on her feet somewhere in the middle. Pfeiffer's legacy in superhero films would have been preserved if she just appeared in Batman Returns. But she continued making waves by joining the MCU as Janet Van Dyne, aka the original Wasp. Pfeiffer trades her claws in for stingers to play the resourceful Marvel heroine. After being lost in another realm for decades, Wasp made a glorious return. We hope to see more of Pfeiffer in action as the stinging heroine. Number 2, Josh Brolin, Cable, Jonah Hex, and Thanos. Thanks to the MCU's Infinity Saga, Thanos will go down as one of the most iconic villains ever portrayed in comic book films.
Daughter.
Did you do it?
Yes.
A big part of the character's success can be attributed to Josh Brolin's brilliant and layered portrayal. Before the actor cemented his superhero street cred, he suffered a setback when he played Jonah Hex in the movie of the same name.
Watch this.
Hey, Hex! What happened to your face?
Myself shaven.
Although his Western hero failed to make an impression, he was extremely memorable as Cable in Deadpool 2. Brolin's gruff demeanor and intimidating approach was perfect for the gruff mutant from the future.
What's the most pain you've ever felt?
These restraints are pretty...
People think they understand pain. They have no concept of it beyond their own worst experience.
While it's not likely we'll see much more of his Jonah Hex or Thanos in live action, his future as Cable looks bright.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications.
Number 1, Michael Keaton, Batman and the Vulture. Whenever comic fans debate who did the best job of portraying Batman, Michael Keaton's name will come up in the conversation.
What are you?
I'm Batman.
After he brought a darker edge to the Caped Crusader in 1989's Batman, he set the tone for how the character would be portrayed for years to come.
Lights out! Now you want to get nuts? Come on, let's get nuts.
Keaton gave another definitive superhero movie performance when he donned metal wings to play Vulture in Spider-Man: Homecoming. Any trace of his heroic bat instincts disappeared behind the actor's incredible performance as the menacing villain.
How do you think your buddy Stark paid for that tower? Or any of his little toys? Those people, Pete, those people up there, the rich and the powerful, they do whatever they want. Guys like us, like you and me, they don't care about us.
After playing one of the best Marvel villains, Keaton agreed to reprise his role as both Vulture and Batman for different movies. The actor can be a superhero or villain without skipping a beat.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.